Well, I'm back, but this is not a Couch Tunes episode. This is Let's Get Serious, and it's more of a talking head thing, more to do with gear and maybe some interviews as we go down the line with some people and whatnot. But today we're talking about my camera rig. So my LUMIX GH4 rig, and the different setups that we got. We have a nicey rig cage, and we got a handle on it, like a top handle, carrying handle, and then we also have a shoulder rig that I'll show you. I'll explain all this stuff. There's other attachments onto it, sort of like a camera mat, or it sort of stops like glares from happening over on the lens from the lights. And then I've also got a newer 7-inch monitor that's hooked up to the camera through it's hooked up to the camera through HDMI. It's a HDMI micro, and then it goes to a regular HDMI on the actual monitor itself. And the cables are starting to kind of wind around the camera cage, that one, and same thing with the microphone one. So you start seeing all these cables hanging off the camera. It starts to look a little bit like overwhelming and weird, and not sure what's going on. It's turning into a monster. And with the shoulder rig, and then you get the follow focus, or focus follow, and it starts getting huger and huger, and it's got extra handles on the bottom, so it makes it easier to do like handheld stuff. It's like got a shoulder brace, and you can move around and kind of film clients. Most of the stuff, the rig itself, monitor itself, I use for me, and same thing with there's a newer motorized slider that I also use to film myself. But the handheld rig is kind of useless to film me. It's hard to do, film yourself when you're shooting the camera forwards. So anyway, I can do it with a gimbal, which I do have. That's the option for me if I want to film myself and run around. I can do it with one of these. It's quite the thing. Stabilizer at that, and then it's also got some controls on there. A bit of a joystick, so you can make it move up or down or side to side a little bit as the 0 point, I guess, or your point of reference before you start moving it around and doing stuff. So this definitely gets used for me if I want to do some running around and filming myself. But the actual this part of it, I can't. Obviously it's meant for dealing with clients and following them around in the studio, or maybe at a later point once we go to locations like we have in the past. We went to Garbage Hill for one client and did some filming out there. Didn't have this at the time. Would have been a nice feature to have, and then we could have done some different angles and different kind of shots. But so that's kind of where I'm at now with the gear. It's getting a little bit more interesting. A little bit more fun. Here's a shot with the whole rig put together. Like you can see now that you can see the monitor, the mic, the actual shoulder harness, with the extra handles, and the follow focus, or focus follow. Still not sure. I'm gonna have to look that up, and I'll put a little thing up there somewhere stating what it is. I'm just trying to remember which one's the first word. Focus or follow, or anyway. It's like I said, this is all new to me, getting kind of further in the game, having a lot more fun with the editing. Got myself another computer. I got a Mac Mini M4, which allows me to use DaVinci Resolve. So if you've noticed on the last handful of episodes, it's starting to get a little bit more elaborate with the editing, a lot more smoother or weirder transitions and stuff like that, and the ability to, you know, double myself up so I can cut myself into the film itself twice or 3 times or as many times as I, you know, like to do it. It's just the editing capabilities is endless, and the effects that you can do, and the warbling and twisting of things as you go from one scene to another. Keep watching the episodes. They're getting more elaborate. Oh, then there's another piece of rig that I will be using. I've used it on myself once, but it's not so easy. I've got what they call a jib. It's just a manual thing. I'll show you some footage of that. Here it is. This is what it looks like. You can kind of swing it around, move it around. It kind of gives you a little bit of a height advantage and a little bit more of a stabilized movement thing while it's sitting on the jib. It's great for taking shots of the drums, and you get more of an overview of the drum kit opposed to being straight on. It works great for those kind of things, or if you want a shot where you're going from the floor to the ceiling and you want that kind of rising camera work, you can do that sort of a thing. And you can change the angle of the camera so it's pointing downwards, or if it's pointing straight on, or any angle in between. There's more lights here. There's more soft boxes, and then there's the small little lights that you got. Small rig. Some of the small lights that you got that are quite interesting for sort of like the background effects of things. This one's a different name, but it's the same idea. You've got different colors on here, or you can just do white. It kind of helps with the lighting in the background behind me. So you can kind of set more of a mood opposed to just straight on faces. But there's also other sort of like you've seen them. There's party lights that I have that I put in the background just to make it a little bit more, you know, like it's a party's going on here, or add the excitement level. But it's not necessarily something that every filmmaker would need. But in the case of me trying to just add the stupidity of things and just the silliness and the you know, psychedelic effects or whatever you might want to call it, I put them in the shots. So anyway, I'm glad you joined me on this little talk. We will have more talk about other gear and other clients and just whatever it is that's not so like something that's serious related to the actual business. And so this is kind of like the first attempt to document my startings in the world of filmmaking at 60 years old. Talk to you later.